Unfortunately, Volkswagen decided to halt production on the Beetle, a beloved model that had been in production since 1938. From the hippie 60s to historic World War II Germany, the slug bug has had quite a run. While this car has been popular, 10 unspoken facts will amaze you about it. In this episode, we'll dive into them all. 1. The Beetle was designed by a student. Many understand that the Beetle was conceived in the early 1930s, when the leader of Nazi Germany, Adolf Hitler, decided there was a need for a people's car, an inexpensive, simple car to serve Germany's new road network. However, the design was done by a student more than 5 years earlier. Bela Baranyi, an 18-year-old Hungarian-Viennese Technical College of Mechanical and Electrical Engineering student, submitted a chassis design for a Volkswagen in 1925. Key elements of his concept included the air-cooled four-cylinder boxer engine at the rear, the transmission positioned in front of the rear axle, and the distinctive roundish shape. Later in the 1930s, the engineers began work, introducing the Volkswagen brand and the Volkswagen Type 1 car. Bela contributed numerous innovations to auto design, especially with Mercedes, and is recognized as the father of vehicle safety. 2. It's one of the longest in production. The Beetle has been produced for a long time, from 1938 to July 30, 2003. However, several activities took place before 1938. In 1931, Ferdinand Porsche and Zündap developed the Porsche Type 12, the first Volkswagen, the Auto für jedermann, which means the car for everyone. In 1932, there were already 3 prototypes, and later, in 1933, the NSU motorcycle factory built a 4th, the Porsche Type 32. Adolf Hitler had loved the Bug Beetle since it was built, so in 1933, he commissioned Porsche to design a car for the people, literally in German, Volkswagen. The car was to have the capacity for 2 adults and 2 children, room for suitcases, and be able to reach 100 kilometers per hour. The new vehicle they built in October 1935 was initially named Porsche Type 60, and then baptized as KdF-Wagen. KdF was the initials of Kraft durch Freude, strength through joy, the leisure section of the Third Reich. In 1938, the Stadt des KdF-Wagens was built around the village of Hesslingen, where the KdF-Wagen factory workers lived. When World War II broke out in 1939, only a few units were for consumers. Production resumed in the 1940s and lasted until the early 21st century. 3. It has different names in different countries. The Beetle's official name was the Volkswagen Type 1, but the diminutive car in the United States has always been affectionately referred to as the Beetle. Different countries have their unique nicknames for the bug. In France, it's known as a coccinelle, meaning ladybug. Bolivia calls it pita, turtle, while Indonesia uses Kodak, frog. In Italy, the Beetle is called the Maggiolino, and in Germany, the birthplace of the VW Beetle, it's known as the Käfer. In 1959, Volkswagen hired the advertising firm Doyle Dane Bernbach and its pioneering creative director Bill Bernbach to run its U.S. advertising. The Beetle was an ideal match for Bernbach's subtle, low-pressure advertising method. Rather than following the trend of loud, splashy ads at the time, the first VW ad was a black and white photo of the Beetle tucked away in the corner. The slogan was "Think Small." Similar ads followed, each with a sly, self-deprecating sense of humor toward the car's slight, unorthodox design. By thinking small, Bernbach and the company enabled the Beetle to sell huge in America. The VW hit the nail on the head because post-World War II Americans sought economical cars. It was far cheaper to buy and operate than most domestic cars, thanks to its simple design and fuel-efficient air-cooled engine. On the 1st of July 1974, the Final Beetle was produced at the Wolfsburg plant after 11,916,519 examples had been made there. Following its discontinuation, Volkswagen ceased the ongoing development of the Beetle in Germany to focus on modern front-drive hatchbacks like the Golf. However, the Beetle would continue to be produced in Mexico for 3 additional decades. Then, on July 30, 2003, VW Beetle number 21,529 was assembled in Puebla, Mexico as the Final Beetle. Today, that Final Beetle can be seen at Volkswagen's Auto Museum in Wolfsburg, Germany, where it remains on display. We hope you're enjoying this content. Before proceeding, kindly click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It helps us create more interesting content for you. The original model was released as Volkswagen Type 1 or the People's Car, but its unique shape contributed to its nickname, the Beetle. The nickname was conceived in 1968 when it became popular in the United States. Volkswagen implemented designations for the Beetle in the 1960s, including 1200, 1300, 1500, 1600, 1302, and 1303. It also introduced a series of large luxury models throughout the 1960s and 1970s, comprising the Type 3, Type 4, and the K70, to supplement the Beetle, but none of these models achieved the level of success that it did. In 1960, brothers Tom and James Monahan purchased a pizza restaurant, Domino's, for $500. Today, many know the business as Dominos Pizza. A year later, James Monahan sold 50% of his shares in the company to buy a used 1959 Volkswagen Beetle. It is believed that James Monahan did not enjoy the business's demands and challenges. The pizza industry required long hours, hard work, and significant effort. In contrast, Tom Monahan had a strong vision for the company and was willing to take on the risks and hard work. Fast forward 38 years, Tom Monahan decided to retire and sell 93% of the company. Meanwhile, the VW Beetle became a symbol of one of the most famously missed business opportunities in history. One of the famous movie cars. The VW Beetle has been featured in many films throughout its production, from The Shining to James Bond's Quantum of Solace. It even has its own film series, Herbie. One of the most famous Beetles is the race car from the Herbie film series. The white number 53 is still one of the most popular paint jobs for the car. The main character in Stephen King's novel, The Shining, has a red VW Beetle. King drove a red Beetle while writing the novel to get himself in the mindset, but a yellow one is used in the film adaptation. Driven by former Uruguayan president. Dubbed the poorest president, José Mujica, a former Uruguayan president, had a 1987 VW Beetle. Mujica drew worldwide attention for his simple lifestyle, which included using a Volkswagen Beetle and his 60-year-old bicycle for transportation. Among the many Volkswagen Beetle facts, this one is rather interesting. Air-cooled engine. One main feature that made the Beetle stand out was the air-cooled engine designed by Franz Reimspice. Instead of utilizing a coolant tank or a traditional radiator, the Beetle was air-cooled, making it cheaper to maintain and a highly sought-after car. The Beetle has made a big difference in making its manufacturer what it is today, and these Volkswagen Beetle facts are proof of the car's success over the years. What else do you know about the Volkswagen Beetle? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload more content.